Okay. Um, Sorry, I got done eating and drinking and it kind of like messes with my throat. But I just you've seen the title, okay? Hopefully I titled this correctly. I just finished the campaign for Space Marine 2. I did buy the game. I bought the $90 version of the game with the battle pass. Uh, so need a job coming up soon. Hopefully somewhere gets back to me, but that's besides the point. Okay, we're all here for Space Marine 2. Um, so a little context. I've never played Space Marine 1. I had no idea what the story of Space Marine 1 was. I didn't even know there was a Space Marine game. I knew there was like a couple RTSs. I didn't realize there was like a third person shooter like Gears of War Warhammer game prior to this one. So went into this blind, not knowing Titus, who's the main character, or his background or the story. And honestly, you don't need to. There, okay, obvious spoiler warnings. There's a couple throwbacks within Space Marine 2. Leandros, I think that's the right guy. The really annoying recruit in Space Marine 1. He shows up as the chaplain in Space Marine 2. And besides that, there's like a few. There's a character Gadriel. He is the Leandros of this story, but he's not as annoying. There's actually a few lines. I'm not sure if it's a few lines, but it is like a couple, like one line, where it's almost word for word what Leandros said. And I only know this because I watched a Space Marine 1 story recap. In the beginning of Space Marine 1, you're jumping out of a Valkyrie, not a Valkyrie, but a Thunderhawk, I think, is what they're called. And they're using their jetpacks, their jump packs, to jump through the atmosphere, like an ODST pod, but no pod. And they just had packs on. And Leandros is like, this is not in the Codex Astartes. And in Space Marine 2, you do the same thing, and Gadriel is like, this is not in the Codex Astartes. That was a little funny thing I found. Overall, the story was pretty good. I played on Veteran, which is the difficulty below Angel of Death. I don't know if I'm going to replay the game on Angel of Death. When I played it at Comic-Con, Colorado Comic-Con, I played a demo version. I played that one on Angel of Death, and I'm going to be honest, it was just like the first level, pretty hard. I died a lot. Also ran out of ammo. That's one of the things in this game is you will constantly feel like, if you're playing at Veteran, at least Veteran and Angel of Death, I'm guessing, you will constantly feel like you're running out of ammo. Ammo, meds, you're always gonna be like, oh my god, this is it, like I'm gonna die here. It's insane how many times I was like, oh well, I'm dead, it's over, and I somehow pulled through. It's kind of crazy. I'm not sure if that's a testament to my like epic gamer skill, or if the game is designed to be like that, where you're always on edge. But there are moments where you definitely feel like a Space Marine, right? You're going through, you're slaughtering little people, and then there are moments where you're like, oh my god, I'm getting my ass whooped. Which is cool, it's fun. A lot of people have been comparing this game to like Xbox 360 Golden Year games. What they mean by that, I don't really know. I didn't get the Xbox 360 on launch. I got it near the end of its life, when the Xbox One was coming out. And the only games I really played on the 360 were Minecraft, Halo Reach, Black Ops 2, Call of Duty 3, Modern Warfare 2, I think. And yeah, those are like the only prominent games I can remember. It feels like Gears of War, I guess. What I've seen gameplay of Gears of War, and from what I've seen, it looks like, it feels like Gears of War. You definitely feel like a big, chunky man in a giant armored suit running around slaughtering things. But yeah, difficulty. I I want to say so. I played on veteran, right? I've heard that veteran to Angel of Death is a very big leap. Um, I'm gonna be honest. Veteran, I died maybe throughout the entire campaign, maybe 6 times. There are definitely missions where the where it's just kind of like gimmicky, um, and doing the same exact thing. There's a lot of missions in the game where you're defending a a thing from hordes of enemies. Um, that is replayed a lot. That's like half of the story is get to X location. Oh no, we need to defend X from the Tyranids, and it's just a wave defense. Which I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but after a while it was just like, okay, anything else, or is this it? And I didn't really like it because when you're playing on veteran, uh, I noticed this. I played Operations. So Operations is the PvE mode. I was playing Operations by myself, on the lowest difficulty, and the enemy AI would target my AI companions, and they'd also target me. But on veteran in the campaign, AI did gave gave a rat's ass about my companions. They only focus the player character. It's insane. It's insane how much they focus the player character. Your companion will be AFK because he's a bot and and his pathing is broken or something, standing on the other side of the fighting arena, doing absolutely nothing. And every single AI will just swarm you, especially the ranged. Ranged AI do not care about your companions. They will snipe you. Like you're the only one that exists to them, which I guess is technically like an added level of difficulty, but I mean, really? Like that's what's making it difficult is just overwhelming numbers, like not types of enemies. The game definitely throws. It's a pub stomp. It is a pub stomp in terms of the majority of enemies you face are squishy, but there's just a shit ton of them. There's a shit ton of them. And then they throw in like the medium enemies. Okay, so like lictors, the ones that go undergrounds, the regular guys with the swords, and then the sniper ones, the sniper Tyranids. I consider those like medium, and then like the Carnifex is like the large, like a mini boss almost. Um, but it really is just like they just throw everything at you. And I guess that adds to the difficulty because they all just ignore the AI and rush you as the player character. And when you have no meds, limited ammo, um, it's a fight for survival. And it's cool when you come out on top, and it's really annoying when you don't. There was one mission, on the first planet, the jungle planet, or not the jungle planet, the second planet, where you're going up this giant elevator, and you have to. So the elevator has 4 chains, and the aliens are attacking the chains. You have to shoot the aliens off of the chains while also killing the aliens in the arena. And the chains all share the same health pool, which is the most annoying part. It is the most annoying part that they all share the same health pool. Um, so of course your AI companions, they don't care. They don't care what's going on. I feel like half the time they're playing like checkers with each other somewhere. That mission, I only died. I had to do it twice. Um, but it was just very annoying that my AI companions wouldn't even do the objective. They wouldn't even shoot the aliens on the chains. Um, and there were multiple moments of that where it's like, okay, I'm doing the objective. I hope my AI companions can defend me while I'm doing the objective. No, they won't. They don't. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. Um, and that just makes the game harder. Um, and I'm not sure if this is on purpose or if this is just bad AI or I don't know. But that was one of the most annoying things in the game was your AI companions being absolute dog shit, and you pretty much have to do everything. Um, which I guess, I mean, you can make an argument where it's like, oh, but if your AI companions can do the objective, then that's just making the game too easy, and you can just sit back and do blah blah blah. Just add harder enemies instead of throwing 1,000 tiny little guys. Throw 10 big guys, and then the player will have to take care of that, and the AI will have to take care of that. I don't know. It was just that's the only thing that bugged me throughout the entire game, was the AI and trusting them, because you can't trust them. Story-wise, story super good. I loved it. Not a fan of Ultramarines. I don't like Ultramarines. They just look like giant Smurfs. I hate them. They're just really generic. Really generic. We're Butte Gilliman. Codex Astartes. We're the poster boys of Space Marine. I don't like them. But as far as the story goes, really cool, really fun. There are some really sweet moments where you get you understand the scale of things. Like Warhammer scale it's massive. It's impressively massive. And there are so many moments where you're just like, oh my god, like how has humanity survived in this universe for so long? Like it's crazy. And it's really cool. It's really cool seeing that, because you don't see that anywhere else in Warhammer, in any other Warhammer media, unless we get like a TV show. But if we do get a TV show, doing battles on that scale would probably cost you $1 trillion in special effects and CGI, so we probably won't get to see that. So the only place we can see that is in video games. And maybe like animated series, but even an animated series that would cost a lot, so who knows. But it's really cool being able to see the scale of things, because you read about it and you see it in your head and your imagination, but then you see it on the screen and you're like, oh my god, so cool. The story took me, I don't know, let me look at my Steam played. 16 hours, mind you. Probably like 4 of those hours I was playing multiplayer. So realistically, like 10 to 12 hours, which is what the game reviewer website said. It was like a 10-hour game, depending on difficulty level. So if you are playing on an easier difficulty, you're probably just gonna fly through the game. It's probably just gonna be a pub stomp. You're gonna feel like a Space Marine. But yeah, no, it was fun. It was cool. I liked it. I hope they keep updating the game, because there are some bugs. The very last boss fight, there's a pretty major game-breaking bug that apparently everyone is getting. So this boss has 2 phases. First phase is just him flying around in human form, and then second phase, he calls this massive bird, demon. It's a Shent, followers of Shink. I don't know how to say it. Zentch, I think is how you spell it. But yeah, no, he calls this giant demon bird. And the opener for the demon bird is he opens up these like 5 portals, and these giant fireballs spew out all over the map. Well, he won't stop. There's a bug where he just continues. And that's all that happens. You can sit there for an hour, and he'll just do that for an hour. The fix that I found was, you get to that stage, you open your menu, you press quit. After you press quit, the game will most likely crash. Let it crash, reopen the game, press continue, and it'll pick up right where you left off, right when he transforms into the bird. Not transforms, but summons the bird, and then the bird will do the attack for like 10 seconds, and then the fight will carry on. That was the only bug I found in the entire game that I found that I had to Google how to fix. There are some matchmaking issues with multiplayer. The biggest annoying one for me right now is I load into multiplayer, I play around, and then I leave the lobby. I leave the lobby. Technically it's called leaving matchmaking. So I leave the matchmaking lobby. I'm still in the PvP mode, and then I try to reconnect to like another like lobby, right? And it just won't connect. And eventually it'll disconnect me from the Warhammer servers. So I have to go back to the menu, start over. Now the issue with that is the current multiplayer in the game, the PvP, there's balancing issues. And it's not balancing issues with the classes, it's balancing issues with the teams. So I'm not sure why the devs thought this was a good idea, but it's 6v6, okay? 6v6 is very it's very competitive. If you aren't playing competitively in these matches, you're just going to get steamrolled. You're going to lose. It's like Overwatch. And the thing is, a lot of these Warhammer fans aren't, I don't know, they just don't play the game very well from what I've been seeing. Okay, I'm a level 3 and I'm top fragging the leaderboard when I have like a level 15 and a level 18 on my team. I have the most OBJs, I have the most kills, I have a decent amount of assists, right? I'm at the top, and we still lose because, like, random Joe is 0 and 10. So that's my first issue. 6v6, way too competitive. They need to up the lobbies, like 15v15. Big team battle, 30-man rounds, okay? And that leads into the other issue, is that in the multiplayer lobbies, so you have the two teams, right? When a round is over, both of those teams stay in that lobby, okay? It doesn't switch players from one team to the other team, it just keeps them there as a block. So if you find a really good, like, 6-man group of people, like randoms, or if you queue together, you will stay together until you leave. You will always be on the same team, no matter what. There's no switching of the team, switching up people, right? So what happens is one team is just constantly pub stomping the other one, and the other team, okay, because they're getting stomped every single round, people are leaving the lobby and rejoining. So most of the rounds I fought were like 4v6 because people would join, they saw how bad we were losing, and then they leave. So of course we're gonna get stomped, and then it doesn't help because it perpetuates the issue, right? It'd be cool if someone leaves, right, and the teams are unbalanced and auto balance. Someone off the other team gets plucked into our team. There's no feature for that. There is no auto balancing. So you can be filled with a team that's comprised of entirely sub-level 5s, and you will go up against a team that is level 18, level 16, level 15, right? People who are playing together. There is no different lobby for people who are queuing together in groups. And since it's 6v6, if you have a 3-man stack and you're fighting against that as a random with other randoms on your team, you're gonna lose. I'm sorry, but you're gonna lose because they have comms. They have comms. They know they're playing off of each other, and it's very hard to play off of each other when you're playing with randoms. Okay, and I'm not even sure if voice chat works. I tried speaking. No one said anything back. There was no microphone icon. The only thing to communicate with your teammates in the game is text. And I don't know about you guys, but trying to type while you're playing a third-person shooter competitive match, kind of balls. The only forms of like comms that the game gives you is a ping. You can ping and be like, boop, look over there. That's it. So you really have to rely on your teammates and hope that they aren't poopers. And that's my biggest qualm with PvP right now. That and the server issue. So I'm guessing the servers are probably gonna get fixed pretty fast. Because that's just gonna kill the game. If they don't fix that, they're dumb. They're dumb as hell. Now if they don't right, if they don't look at the multiplayer and they're like, oh, what's happening here? Why are people leaving so much? I don't know. I like the multiplayer. I like the PvP. I've done the PvE, but I like PvP. Okay, um, there have been I looked in the Discord and there was a couple other people talking about the same thing I am, where the teams just don't change, right? You're just like locked in a team forever until you leave the lobby, um, which is an issue because the teams don't switch. Um, so other people have recognized that. And hopefully the devs will see that. Now, priority wise, I don't know if they care about PvP because longevity for this game is going to be PvE. Um, the horde system, the horde. I don't know what to call it. They have a horde gameplay mode set to release in 2025. PvE is definitely going to be the moneymaker here. So hopefully they get PvE on track and then they turn around and look at PvP. Because I like it, it's enjoyable, but it's not fun when you're just losing every single match. And I don't mean losing like 200 to 190. I mean losing like 200 to 3. It's bad. It is bad. So I don't know. Maybe I just have to find a group. Maybe I just have to find a group of people and we can pub stomp together. Who knows? We'll see. But other than that, I mean, I guess Space Marine customization is pretty good. I like how they include a lot of chapters that nobody has any idea about. I mean, not nobody has any idea about, but chapters that are less seen than other ones. And the customization means you can also just make other chapters by combining colors. The decals kind of wishy-washy for making chapters that aren't in the game, but I mean you have a lot of them, so and also customization. You unlock items through doing PvE and multiplayer. I think the faster one is multiplayer. You get more, and the rounds are faster. But yeah, I can't wait to customize my Marine. If anyone's wondering, I have Imperial Fists unlocked. I have the Carcharodons unlocked. I have, I think they're called like the Space Hounds unlocked. And then I have one other that I can't remember. So far, I mean, it's cool. I like looking at all of them. I like going into the menu and putting on the different armor and being like, wow, that looks so good. Be like, oh, one day I'm gonna get there. But yeah, I don't know. There's nothing else to really talk about. Performance-wise, we ran pretty well. I have a 4070. I'm not sure what my CPU is. I know it's probably in my search history. I think it's this one. I think I have an AMD Ryzen 5 3rd Gen 3600. Maybe it's this one. I have no idea. Okay, I don't think it's this one because this one's too cheap. I feel like I spent more on it. But yeah, no, I have no idea. I have no idea what my CPU is. But I have a 4070, so it worked. The only time I had frame rate issues was during the city mission. And the reason why is because there's just a shit ton of stuff. There is a huge amount of things on your screen. So there were moments where it got a little choppy and I got down to like 30 FPS, but other than that, I was sitting at a solid 60. And I set it to 60. I don't understand why people complain about games where you're capped at 60. 60 FPS worked for like a decade. I can't even notice the difference between 60 and 120 and everything above. So if you're struggling, cap those frames. Turn everything down to low. But yeah, no, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Fun little game. I'm probably going to play it for like another week. And then wait for the different updates to come out, because they do have a Dark Angels update. Dark Angels, one of my favorite chapters. or Legion. Um, but yeah, no, that's the first Battle Pass update that's coming out. Along with a new map, I think. Don't quote me. Um, but yeah, no, excited to see the future of this game. Hopefully, it left me wanting more. It left me wanting more. So hopefully, Games Workshop sees the success of Space Marine 2, and they're like, hey, wait a minute, we should make more video games. We should make more Warhammer video games like this instead of Warhammer 3 Total War. Um, I can only pray, and hopefully they do more Space Marine games centered around different chapters and legions instead of just Ultramarines. Like, let's get some Dark Angel games, right? They got a crazy cool storyline. Like, they got some crazy cool lore. But yeah, no, that's okay. I think that's it. I think I got out everything I wanted to say. So, thank you for watching. I love you. I'll see you in whatever next video I do next. Okay, goodbye.